everyone. I'm Dr. Eugene Sanders. I'm the Chief Executive Officer and Superintendent in my hometown of Sandusky, Ohio. I'm delighted to be with you today to share with you the upcoming 2021-2022 school year update in terms of the start of school. We couldn't be more excited to bring this information to you today about our rules and protocols for the start of the upcoming school year for our students, which starts on August the 26th. I'm pleased today to bring forward the president of our school board, Mrs. Martha Murray, who will bring you a welcome on behalf of our board and greetings. Please welcome.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our presentation of the opening of the school. I'm here on behalf of the school board, Mr. Tom Patterson, Ms. Kate Vargo, Bridget Green Churchwell, and Ms. Ebony Sizemore. I hope you've all had a great and relaxing summer and looking forward to the school year. We're looking forward to seeing everybody and their shining faces come August 26th. And I'm sharing with you my book that I'm reading right now, and I'm going to encourage everyone to read another book or read a book before the end of the summer to yourself and to your children, just for some relaxation. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you, President Murray, for that greeting, and thank you to our board members for their ongoing support of our district initiatives and priorities. Today, we're going to bring forward several speakers who will share with you relevant information about the start of school. So all parents, grandparents, guardians, students, please pay close attention so you'll have all the information about the important dates, times, locations, for all of the information relative to the start of the 2021-2022 school year. Obviously, the pride, tradition, and excellence of our district is still maintained, and we are very excited to welcome two new senior leadership team members to the Sandusky City Schools this year. Mr. Dennis Moratori will be serving as our Chief of Staff and Transformation Officer for the district, and he will be joined by Mrs. Tracy Simmons-Reed, who will serve as our Chief Academic Officer. Both of these individuals are Blue Street graduates, and we're excited to have them join us for the upcoming school year. Let me first start out by saying thank you to all of our parents and our students and the entire Sandusky community for your amazing support of our district, our board, over the last year and a half. Without question, COVID has been a challenge for all of us. But in the true tradition of being from Sandusky, Ohio, we worked together, we stayed together, and we focused on our children and our families and the larger community. And thanks to you and your help being flexible with us, we were able to endure and get to where we are today to talk about the opening of the 2021 school year. So we again thank you for your support, and we look forward to working with you this year. In our presentation today, you're going to hear several things. You're going to hear about the overview of the school year. You're going to hear about school readiness and the opening school rules, particularly as it relates to COVID and safety protocols. Mrs. Reed is going to share with you some of our academic priorities for the year. And then our Chief Financial Officer and Treasurer, Mr. Jeff Hall, will give you a little bit of an overview of the district's overall financial status. My task today, briefly, is to lay out some of our key organizational priorities. And obviously, one of our key priorities is being able to recover from the pandemic and focus on the human nature of our students and their work. We want to make sure we're taking care of our students and our parents and our faculty and our staff. And that starts by working together, communicating, engaging each other, and bringing our family back together again, which is important for our work. We will obviously focus on a very smooth opening on August the 26th. Everything will be ready for you on that date. We also want to focus on our academic and our extended programs. School achievement, student success is always the board's #1 priority. We also want to bring you into more focus on the district's long-term plan which is called Envision 2030. And that basically looks at our long-range plan for the district by department and by area. And I encourage you to take a look at it on our website, and you'll be hearing more from me and other members of my team on that throughout the course of the year. Thanks to your support, a few years ago in 2016, we were able to start the largest and most significant facilities program in the history of Sandusky City Schools. Our third and final building, the Sandusky Early Learning Academy, located at the Hancock site, will be up and functioning in January of 2022. We're in the final phases of preparation. That will make our third new building, joining the primary school and joining the Sandusky Intermediate School. And obviously an ongoing priority of our district and our school board is to engage our parents and our stakeholders to keep you updated. You'll hear about our community forums we'll be having in the year. We'll be passing on our school calendar here very soon. And so you'll be able to keep up with everything that's going on in the district. Obviously, I know one of the things you want to hear about today is what are the basic rules, right, going into the start of the school year, particularly as it relates to wearing face coverings and being able to conduct ourselves in the course of the school year. So we received feedback from multiple areas. We talked with our Erie County Health Department Commissioner. We have read all of the protocols from the Centers for Disease Control. We have also partnered with and communicated with our school board members and with our area superintendents and leaders, educational leaders in the area, as well as the Ohio Department of Education. Our marketing and communication team distributed a survey where we had 801 individuals respond, the majority of whom are parents, which we do appreciate. About 60% of the respondents were parents. I'm pleased to say that over 93% of our respondents indicated their excitement about coming back to school 5 days. And so starting out on August the 26th, our schools will be open for 5-day full instruction at the Sandusky City Schools. And also, we won't be requiring face coverings as a mandate for the district. However, those parents and those individuals who desire to wear a mask may certainly do so. So if mom or dad or grandma or someone wants their child or grandchild to wear a mask to school, that's perfectly fine. And faculty and staff also have the option of wearing a face covering at the school site if they choose to do so. Mr. Moratori will give you a little bit more information about what our protocols are for riding the bus and other priorities around starting school for the upcoming year. It's really important that we start the school year out as normal and as regular as we can. We are so excited. Our principals are excited. We held our first principals meeting today. They're excited. Faculty members are getting excited about the start of the school year. And I imagine parents about this time of the year, you're getting a little excited too to get those kids back in school. And we can't wait for them to get here. So again, just to recap some basic information for the start of the year, the district will not require face coverings for the 2021-2022 school year. Please keep in mind, however, that based on trends and other developments, we may have to make a modification in that, but we'll give you full warning if that indeed occurs. Mr. Moratori will talk a little bit about the school bus dynamic for face coverings. Faculty and staff and students, again, have the option. We'll continue to encourage social distancing, and obviously our cleaning standards and our protocols for our daily cleaning routine will be maintained throughout the course of the school year. We look forward to working with you. We appreciate your support so very much, and we thank you for being a part of the Sandusky City Schools. It is my pleasure to introduce a colleague of mine who is the Chief of Staff and Transformation Officer, Mr. Dennis Moratori. Mr. Moratori.
Excuse me, thank you, Dr. Sanders. I'd like to quickly just give a shout out to the entire Sandusky faculty and staff, especially our support staff. We've been working diligently over the summer, preparing our buildings to ensure that we are ready for students on August 26th. Following a comprehensive review of the start of school, and times of school, so for the 21-20 school year, after that comprehensive review, minor adjustments have been made to building start times. While we understand that we may not create the perfect time, feedback was taken from our faculty, our staff, and our families in an effort to update and create a better schedule. Building start times are as follows. Sandusky Primary Building, 7:35 a.m. to 2:10 p.m. Sandusky Early Learning Academy, 7:45 to 2:20. The Regional Center for Academics, Arts, and Academic Studies, and the Sandusky Intermediate School, 8 a.m. to 2:40. The Sandusky Middle School and Sandusky High School will be 8:20 to 3:21. Please note, though, that some schools are going to be following a staggered start or a phased-in schedule for the first 2 days of school. Those times are as follows. The Sandusky Primary School will be August 26th, first grade only. August 27th will be second grade only. And August 30th will be all grades. The Sandusky Intermediate School, August 26th will be 3rd and 4th grades only, and August 27th will be 5th and 6th grades only, and August 30th will be all grades. The Sandusky Middle School, August 26th, 8th grade only. August 27th will be for 7th graders, and then August 30th will be for all grades. The Sandusky Learning Academy, the Sandusky High School, and the Regional Center for Arts and Academic Studies, all grades will start on August 26th. There will be no staggered starts for those buildings. The individual phase-in or staggered schedules, along with bell times, will be on each building's website. Families, you can also expect a letter from each building principal outlining key opening of school topics. For transportation, once again, Sandusky City Schools is pleased to offer transportation services for grades K through 12. Transportation routing information, bus times, bus assignments, and bus stop locations will be posted on each building's front entrance doors by 4 p.m. Monday, August 23rd. So, expectations for staff and students while while taking advantage of our district transportation vehicles include using hand sanitizer before entering and exiting a bus. Siblings are encouraged to sit together when possible. Face coverings, as Dr. Sanders mentioned, will be required on all district transportation vehicles. Buses will be disinfected before and after each run in the mornings and the afternoon and after any extracurricular event. Information related to transportation can also be found on our district's website. As Dr. Sanders mentioned, all students will return 5 days a week beginning in August. While there's no guarantee the risk of exposure to the COVID virus can fully be eliminated, we can greatly reduce the risk by following scientifically determined best mitigation practices. Those are the strategies that the district implemented last year. Those strategies include the practice of frequent hand washing, the placement of hand sanitizer stations located throughout each building, the frequent sanitizing and disinfecting of high-touch areas by our support staff, our teachers, and our administrators, the continuing practice of social distancing at 3 feet when possible, We're also asking that our students and our staff remain home when they're not feeling well. We also ask that our students and staff create or complete a daily symptoms assessment before leaving each morning. And while face coverings are not going to be mandated at any time during indoor or outdoor activities, as I mentioned, they will be a requirement each day when the students are taking advantage of district transportation. Additional efforts offered by Sandusky City Schools that we'll take to minimize the risk of COVID exposure include adding additional nursing staff to each building, utilizing a separate quarantine area for any student who may, or staff who may feel symptomatic or experiencing symptoms of COVID, utilizing the services of a full-time substitute teacher in each building, placing air purifiers in each band and choir room, and frequently changing ventilation filters in each of our HVAC systems to a higher grade filter. And finally, the district remains committed to that ongoing communication and data sharing with our local and regional health experts and continuing to communicate with our neighboring school districts. Please never hesitate to contact my office directly by email or by phone with any questions or comments that you'd like to share. At this time, I'd like to turn the program over to Chief Academic Officer, Mrs. Tracy Simmons-Reed. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'd like to thank Mrs. Murray and Dr. Sanders and all the community members who have welcomed me back. It's an honor to serve in my hometown district. As Chief Academic Officer for Sandusky City Schools, we are committed to rigorous and relevant academic programs and services throughout this school year. We will continue to focus on the 8 academic achievement and instructional improvement components outlined in the Vision 2030 documents. Sandusky City Schools will improve academic achievement using these 8 components outlined in the 2030 vision. The components focus on increasing capacity to meet students' academic needs and increase student success. Use of data to inform decisions within a collaborative environment will be a primary focus. Staff will implement technology to engage and communicate with students and families while also providing voice and choice for our young people. Our academic goals for the 21-22 school year will continue to be increasing reading achievement as measured by state and local assessments, increasing student mathematics success as measured by state and local assessments. We will continue to support design of lessons and activities that integrate technology and create and maintain a culture of learning while engaging parents as partners in student success. During the start of the 2021-22 school year, new curriculum materials will be implemented. Specifically, new materials in grades 9 through 10, English language arts, high school mathematics courses, and there will be updated preschool materials as you look forward to this new school year. In addition to new materials, please be aware students will be administered beginning of the year assessments to provide principals and teachers with information to personalize instruction. Check with your individual schools for exact calendars, but assessments will begin the week of August 30th. Strategies and tips to start the school year. I will leave you with a couple of strategies. Specifically, you want to try to ease into the school year, maybe going to bed earlier, waking up a little earlier in the morning so students can continue to have a routine. We want to set aside a space, if possible, a quiet space for reading and doing homework. And then you can also access school supply lists on the district website. In addition, you want to assist your students with organization of school books and materials when they get them, and then get involved. We encourage parents to contact their teachers and principals, and as Mr. Muratori spoke earlier, you will be receiving communication from each of your children's schools. And then in addition to being involved, I encourage parents to also access digital resources that are provided by the district and your schools. With that, I want to turn it over to Mr. Hall.
All right, get the click. Sweet. Thank you, Mrs. Reed. And who would have thunk that a year ago I'd be sitting here talking about how I had maybe a little bit more tenure than two of my most prominent team members. So I welcome Mr. Muratori and Mrs. Reed to the team. I actually look forward to continuing the next school year with Dr. Sanders and really everybody in the district. So looking forward to it. Let's see. I have the dubious honor of talking about the financial picture, a snapshot, if you will, of the district's finances, revenues, expenditures, and current cash balances. Obviously, it takes that to keep the boat sailing on Sandusky Bay, and so I can tell you that this last year, fiscal year 21, or the 2021 school year, we did end, thankfully, with a surplus, which means we had more revenue than expenditures for the first time in about 3 or 4 years, which is a good thing. The reason for that is a couple of things. Really, we had some revenues that we didn't expect. We managed our personnel most effectively. So our retired human resource officer, Tina Beatty, was very instrumental in working with the team to help us with that. So attrition of personnel, which was a big portion of that. We also received in some additional collection of tax revenues. Half of our revenue comes from the state foundation, which is state aid, the Ohio Department of Education, but also a huge portion of that is from our taxpayers. And so the snapshot you see there on your screen, it was a couple of graphics, really depicts the fact that in fiscal year 21, or this last school year that we finished, officially, for me, on June 30th of 2021, we had a surplus of just under $500,000. I can tell you that this is a snapshot, and what this tells you is we do continue with some deficit spending in the future, but again, it's a snapshot. There are so many variables, including what you probably have all heard about, which is ESSER funds, the federal grant system during a time of COVID. Sandusky City Schools has been very fortunate to be on the receiving end of some very significant federal dollars that will actually continue through September of 24. So stay tuned on that topic as that will evolve. And so this snapshot has already changed drastically. So this is really the May forecast update that I presented at the end of May. And so I'm happy to announce that we also, we brought in some additional ESSER dollars and had, I'll call it a better reflection of our savings account to avoid going back to ultimately to our taxpayers, which hasn't happened since 2012. And we're very pleased and honored and very proud of the fact that we've not asked for a new operating levy since then. We don't anticipate that happening based on these financials. Again, a snapshot until at least 2024. And the longer we extend that, the happier we are too as well. So that's a snapshot. I always love to throw in graphics. Again, there's a busy screen right there, so I won't get into it, but it really is just, if we need be, it just kind of, again, gives more of a graphic view of the numbers that I just shared with you. And then the last slide that I have, which I'll throw on the readers because that's mandatory, but it really just tells a little bit more about how we ended up. There were 5 main reasons why we had a surplus of revenue over expenditures this last year. One is personnel attrition, as I mentioned, delinquent tax collections. The Bureau of Workmen's Comp offered us some significant premium rebates. We had some additional wellness dollars that were afforded to us by the Ohio Department of Education, so more of a state additional revenue. And of course, the ESSER federal grants fund relief, which again was also very significant. Going forward, I am also happy to announce that you may have heard in the news that we have a new biennial budget set by the state legislature that just came out. It's required by law that they do that as part of balancing the budget. But fair school funding is a topic you might have heard about. We haven't had a fair school funding change for about 25 years. That just occurred. So there are a lot of things in this forecast and about our finances specifically that are going to evolve over the next 3 to 4 months and a couple years. But really what's going to happen is we're expecting, Sandusky City Schools is expecting an additional 1.6 to 1.7 million in state revenue based on the new fair school funding formula. So stay tuned on that. I look forward to updating you at our monthly board meetings. And it's almost like as the news arrives on my desk, it will arrive on yours as well. And as I wrap up, as I've already mentioned, most importantly to us, we continue to diligently oversee all expenditures and seek revenue, additional revenue sources other than taxpayer-related resources. So that's our mantra. That's what I live by. And being the Chief Financial Officer, you can be rest assured that I convey that message almost daily, if not every minute of my existence. So that's a good thing. And so we're just overseeing your tax dollars, most importantly. There will be several factors over the life of this forecast and over the life of the next couple years, which will influence the timing and magnitude of any discussion on operating levies. And so that's not in the discussion at this moment for the short time being. And I look forward to updating you at future board meetings, and I wish you well. I'll turn it over to our Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Sanders.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Hall, Mrs. Reed, Mr. Moratori, President Murray, Vice President Patterson. Let me close out this evening to just let you know how you can get a hold of us. You can contact me directly at askdrsanders@scs-k12.net, and we'll be happy to respond to your emails in 24 hours. You may call me directly at my office, which is 419-984-1000, and we'll return your phone call promptly in 24 hours as well, which is part of our district protocols for that communication. I want to remind everyone that the Blue Street Pride 5K is on, and it's happening this year, folks. It's September 25th. It's going to be at Strober Field, Cedar Point Stadium. It's going to be a delightful morning. It will not snow. It will not rain. It's going to be beautiful, and we look forward to seeing you there. The first 300 registrants do get a free t-shirt, and we look forward to seeing tons and tons and tons of people there for that event. First football game's coming up real soon. Can't wait to get back to our normal school lives, and we're just so excited about the start of the school year. So as a reminder, students, you should remember that school starts August 26th. Please be there, be on time, be ready to go. Lots of exciting things happen this year. Thank you for joining us today for our Sandusky City Schools video update for the start of school. And as always, go Streaks.